I'm looking at the Common Core right now.
Well, that's where I'm going. So, okay, you're bringing it up. What do you think of the Common Core?
Well, I think we've been doing that for a long time in the arts. To me, Common Core is just a more in-depth investigation into concepts. Instead of hitting, I think the problem that you're talking about is we've done kind of a shotgun approach to trying to give students a smattering of a lot of things. And as my understanding of it, and I'm still talking with teachers and administrators and parents and that about this, but my understanding of it is it's a more in-depth look at a concept so that teachers can get into looking at comparing things and finding the connection so that, I always like to say, so that it sticks. Because if you just start to memorize facts, you don't have it in context of anything. So,
Zach, what do you think about Common Core? Not to keep going on the history, or I mean, you and I could talk about history,
that thing.
But that's not what we're going here. What about Common Core?
Dan, I'm opposed to Common Core, and I support efforts in the Ohio legislature to repeal it. When it comes to education, I do not believe a federalized, top-down, one-size-fits-all approach is best for our children. Now, I'm not opposed to standards, but in large part, I believe education is the job of the states. And I want to make sure Ohioans are decision makers because they know what's best for Ohio's classrooms, not some bureaucrat in Washington.
That's not my understanding of how it got developed. It was across the board. For instance, in the arts, I can speak to that best. We always, when we did the Ohio art standards, art education standards, we always looked to the national art education standards for some alignment because, quite honestly, our students are going to live in a global world. Part of living in the 21st century has to be that there has to be a way to have a shared knowledge about things. The parents, teachers, educational specialists across the states and in Ohio were intricately involved in the Common Core. It wasn't top down. It's my understanding.
Well,
it wasn't top down.
I disagree wholeheartedly with that analysis. And furthermore, I am for what I would term as competitive federalism. I think it's better for states to have different standards so we can learn what works and what doesn't. It's widely agreed upon that the Massachusetts standards are superior than the Ohio or Common Core learning standards. Why should Massachusetts, say, adopt Common Core and have their children take a step back? If elected, everything I do, every action I take, every vote I make is going to put the children first. And I think we can come up with standards that are best for Ohio.
So your point is you think it's coming from the top down, even though the counter-argument is that there are the national standards, but every state then has to develop its own curriculum, and therefore each state's curriculum is going to be different because it's going to come from the bottom up.
So when we get into the differences between standards and curriculum, I want to, and this is, let's have an honest conversation about this. If you set standards and you align assessments or PARCC assessments with these standards, you're going to have to develop curriculum, or there's going to be curriculum adopted to teach to these tests because that's how schools and teachers are evaluated.
So are you, do you think we're doing too much testing?
Absolutely. Every parent that I talk to, every teacher that I talk to in the parades and the interactions I have, they say they spend more time not only teaching to the test, but spending time on test preparation with their students, how to fill in the bubbles, and they are not able to do what they signed up to do, which is be innovative in the classroom and creative and teach students. I'm afraid that teachers are going to leave the profession, good teachers, because we're essentially narrowing what they're able to do in the classroom.
Pat?